Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is April 3rd of 2026. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears that CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to stage an earth-changing apocalyptic event targeting planet Earth in the next few days. Via the largest rocket ever, otherwise known as Artemis 2, which took off from Kennedy Space Center on Mare Island in southern Florida back on April 1st of 2026. So there's numerous conspiracies online about what this rocket is for, what happened during the launch, because there is growing number of evidence which suggests that this rocket was launched for nefarious reasons. One of these so-called pieces of evidence that has been disseminated on the internet is the fact that it appears that the cable car which takes the astronauts to the capsule at the top of the rocket of Artemis 2 appears to be leaving just prior to the rocket taking off, which suggests that the actual astronauts, because most of the time when astronauts take off, they claim that when they leave the Earth's surface, they get knocked out because of the G-forces, and so there's a high probability that those 4 astronauts that are allegedly aboard this spaceship are actually in some sort of a chamber, likely an underwater chamber that mimics the effects of being blasted off into space. Which, if this is true, this suggests that this rocket, which is the largest rocket that NASA has ever built, is going to enter Earth's atmosphere in the next few days and strike a given location. I believe that the entire Artemis 2 mission is a hoax. I do not believe that this mission is truthful in nature. This is based off the images that were disseminated propaganda today all over the internet of the Earth. It's the fake image of the Earth, which we know is not the basketball shape which they purport it to be. So this confirms that these astronauts are not actually out there, and that they're likely in some sort of a pressure chamber with high resolution screens, which make them believe that they are in fact orbiting the planet, when in reality they're likely in some NASA laboratory. That being said, this rocket, which took off, is going to make its way back down into Earth's orbit and is going to strike a location. And I believe this rocket is filled with liquid nitroglycerin, which is the single most explosive compound on Earth. And when it hits, it's going to detonate in a magnificent and spectacular fashion. Exactly when this is going to happen is not known, but considering that the crew, there's 4 members of the crew, it will likely happen 4 days after. So this suggests that this attack by this rogue rocket, Artemis 2, is going to target planet Earth on Sunday, Easter Sunday, April 5th of 2026. This rocket could also strike on the morning of April 6th, but it would be United States time, April 5th. So we don't know when it's coming, but given the numerology concerning that it took off on 4/1, it's likely that it would target. It would likely that it would target Earth at some other location, possibly 4 days later. Okay, so what are they going to do? So the most likely scenarios are as follows. They're going to stage some sort of interstellar comet 3I Atlas related attack targeting Earth. So this could be, this rocket could enter, and then they say that we're being attacked by aliens. Not very likely. More likely is the fact that they would strike one or more locations on Earth with this rocket, and claim that it's some sort of an asteroid attack. But even more likely is the fact that they are going to stage a Chinese, Iranian, North Korean, Pakistani, or Russian Icbm strike. And this is what I believe is the most likely scenario. I believe it's 90% sure that this is what this rocket is for. So this rocket is going to go up into lower Earth orbit, and then it's going to turn on its rockets, and it's going to come down, and it's going to hit so hard and so fast, and it's most likely going to target New York City, London, or some other major city, possibly Tokyo. But this is going to be apocalyptic in nature, and given the sheer size of this rocket, the explosion is going to be massive. There's also the possibility that it could be executed under the guise of an accidental U.S., France, England, India, or Israel nuclear rocket accident, which is unlikely. There's also the possibility it could be a comet, a meteor, or a meteor, but that is unlikely. So the most likely scenarios is that this rocket comes back into Earth's orbit in the next, let's say, 100 hours, most likely on Easter Sunday. We know the religious connotations surrounding Easter Sunday, the date of 4/1 or 1/4 when the rocket took off. This symbolically forms a cross, because the 4 previously went to the cross, and so if this is going to be backwards, of course, but we have the 4 equals the cross plus the 1 for 4/1, the date it took off, and then you add these two together, and then you get a cross. And the Jesus or whatever was resurrected on Easter Sunday. So this is obviously the cross is synonymous with Easter Sunday. So symbolically speaking, numerologically speaking, this is the most likely date of re-entry from the Artemis 2 rocket. Not only that, but the word Artemis has the word right. Consonantly speaking is RTMS. And MS is likely for Messiah, which was raised on allegedly Jesus was the Messiah. He was resurrected on Easter. And then we have the word RT, which spells right, or is right, and a rite is a blood sacrifice. And so this suggests that they are going to stage a blood sacrifice using this rocket on the date of the resurrection, which would be Easter Sunday. Possibly during Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, or there's now Sunday Night Basketball on NBC and Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, so it's likely going to be during this broadcast on Sunday evening is when this rocket is going to strike. I would just based off of previous plots identified by the CIA, I would suspect that this rocket will target New York City, or if it's blamed on Iran, it'll probably be targeting the eastern seaboard of the United States. If it's blamed on North Korea, it could be on the western side of the United States. But considering this rocket size, it's likely going to target a location where millions of people can witness it coming. And that is likely what's going to happen. So anyways, just a red alert. Artemis 2 is going to make re-entry, I would say for sure by the date, in the next 72 hours, by the date of April 6th, most likely on the date of April 5th of 2026, on Easter Sunday. And it will likely target a location in the United States, I would guess, and then that whatever country the CIA blames it on, U.S. President Donald J. Trump, if he is still alive, will nuke that country, and then we'll be in full-scale World War III. So obviously, if this happens, I kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets.